So today we are looking at the best ways to farm gold in Phase 1 of Wrath Classic, and in this video I will do my best to give you guys a couple of different ways to farm gold while still keeping it to the most efficient and valuable gold farms to ensure that you get the most bang for your buck whenever you do these farms. The information in this video will be completely based on my experience playing on several Wrath servers throughout the years, where I tried out a lot of different gold farms at the beginning of those servers to see what could make me a lot of gold, and after that I have also tested these farms on the current Wrath Classic beta, so I know the drop rates and actual drops and farming routes are the same. I am basing my knowledge on a combination of Wrath servers and the Wrath Classic beta, as I am making this video prior to Wrath Classic actually coming out, so you can take advantage of the farms as soon as possible in Phase 1. Also, if you're looking for even more gold farms, as well as just how to make thousands of gold in Wrath in general, I have made a Wrath Classic gold guide with the specific intent of helping you make as much gold as possible in Wrath of the Lich King Classic. This gold guide contains investments that are literally making me tens of thousands of gold, the very best Wrath Classic gold farms, and a bunch more gold making information. It is basically a 93 pages long PDF document about gold making, plus I've also added an extra 31 pages PDF document specific towards the fresh servers and how to make gold there, so you are literally getting more than 120 pages of gold making information in this guide. After purchasing the guide, you will also receive all of the future updates for free. You get access to an exclusive gold making Discord server for Wrath Classic, and by using the code Solheim, you can get it for half price, so check it out through the link down below. Alright, let's dive into it. So first of all, without a doubt, Herbalism mining is the easiest way to farm gold in Phase 1 of Wrath Classic. I am not saying it will be the best in terms of potential gold per hour, as there are certain gold farms that have much more potential. That being said, the farms with the highest potential will also have the most competition, which in overall efficiency evens them out. Materials from both Herbalism mining will be an absolutely insane demand in Phase 1 of Wrath Classic, and let's just break that down for a quick second. Materials from Herbalism will be in huge demand because of alchemy and inscription. Alchemists will obviously create potions, elixirs and flasks, which will be in constant demand, and scribes will be able to mill herbs into pigments, craft those pigments into ink, and use that ink for various crafts. Most notably here, glyphs. Everyone will need 3 major glyphs and most likely 3 minor glyphs as well, so this will create an instant demand very early. Plus, the Darkmoon card greatness craft will require a hefty amount of rare pigments, which are found from milling herbs, plus eternal lives, which are gathered from Herbalism, and scribes will need a bunch of these. Okay, materials from mining will be in huge demand because of blacksmithing, and jewel crafting, and engineering, which are all identified as the best in slot professions for 90% of all classes and specs in Wrath of the Lich King. So everyone who are serious about raiding in Wrath will need some of these crafting professions at max level, which will create a massive surge of demand for materials from mining very early in Wrath when everyone is focusing on maxing out their crafting professions. The profitability from mining in the first 2 weeks of Wrath will probably be unmatched. Going back to Herbalism though for a quick second, you can even use Herbalism to get even more gold per hour from farming mobs, as certain mobs such as lashers and moss elementals can actually be gathered with Herbalism for even more loot. The additional loot that can be gathered includes all Northrend herbs, crystallized life, and vendorable trash that gives you raw gold. Some of these gold farms can produce the actual best gold per hour in the game, because the demand for eternal lives is literally that big, but they will also be very contested. That being said, I have several of them listed in my gold guide, so you can check out multiple farming locations over there. Also, here you have a couple of farming routes for Herbalism in Northrend, gathered from Legacy WoW, and I've tested these routes and various others on the Classic Beta, and based on my tests, these are the best routes to go for. That being said, if there's a lot of people in the zone, you can cut the routes in half and /or focus on one particular area, so you can gather respawns as soon as possible. Keeping up with farming routes, here's a couple for mining as well in Northrend once again gathered from Legacy WoW and tested on the beta, and the same thing applies here as well. So if there's a lot of competition in the area, consider cutting the routes or focusing on one area. The second way of farming gold that I do want to highlight, which is actually a method that has worked very well for me, as a lot of Wrath babies don't even know it exists, is to fly around and look for clouds with engineering. Engineers can actually gather the Eternals from clouds by using the Sap Throttle Mote Extractor, and the recipe for this is awarded to you from a quest in Sangremarsh in the Burning Crusade, which is why a lot of Wrath babies don't know about it. You can use this technique to combine engineering with either herbalism or mining and gather clouds while flying around, or you can find a location with several gas clouds located next to each other and combine that with a gold farm where you farm mobs, and my personal favorite gold farm in Wrath actually does exactly that. It combines a mob farm with gas clouds to enhance the gold per hour massively, and all of these farms and locations are listed in my Wrath Classic Gold Guide, which is once again for the third time linked down below. Next up, rogue pickpocket farming. This is more of a RNG type of farm. It could give you 200 gold per hour, or it could give you 1500 gold per hour. It all depends on how lucky you are, but this is actually a very chill way to farm gold, and it can be incredibly lucrative. It also requires no professions whatsoever, and since you're not killing anything, it doesn't require any gear either, but it is locked to one class only, aka rogues, so that makes this type of farm kinda niche. There's been one farm that has been found that is actually incredible, which is located in Sholzar Basin all the way up north, up the mountain where you pickpocket the zombies. That being said, I am expecting this to actually be nerfed or be way overfarmed, but there are several locations in Northrend where you can make a lot of gold from pickpocketing. While pickpocketing, you will obtain potions, vendorable items, and raw gold, and in raw gold you're actually making decent amounts of gold, up to 200 gold per hour, depending on your location. That being said, most of your gold will come from opening the lockboxes, where you have a chance to obtain rare gems, which will be selling for a lot of gold in the very early phases of Wrath, but the profitability from this will fall off drastically over time. That being said, this video is focused on farming gold in phase 1 of Wrath, so rogue pickpocket farming for lockboxes is definitely worth talking about here. And yeah, those are 3 ways of farming gold in phase 1 of Wrath Classic that I think will definitely be worth your time. Let me know how you are planning to farm gold in the comment section down below, and while you're down there, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more Wrath videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.